The '09. Welcome to another Whippersnappers amateur show brought to you by Stay Young or Grow Old. And today we're talking to Nico Israel. How are you, dude?
Hey everybody, we're doing good. We're out here getting ready for another year of racing, another year. So
That's it, man. That's it. What have you been up to today? I know you were riding, you were out riding yesterday. What about, what have you been up to today?
yeah, I've been this whole year I've been with this injury, a wrist injury, and I had to come back home here to get surgery again. I think this Tuesday it'll be 6 weeks, but I got on the bike like a week and a half ago, and I've been riding like once or twice a week just because I'm taking it slow. But I've been feeling actually really good, like impressively, like better than it was before the surgery. Like, and it's been like 4 or 5 times that I've been riding. I rode Wednesday, Thursday, which was the first 2 days in a row, and I got my wrist was pretty sore, and I went riding today again, and today was like even better. So it's been good. Today I went riding with some friends, my brother. Having a good time, enjoying my time here back home, and almost ready to be back in California to get the actual grinding. So,
That's it, man. So so you broke your wrist earlier this year, like at the start of this year. Is that right?
November. It was
Oh, okay.
end of last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty bad breakdown. Yeah, so the operation you just had, was it taking out pins and screws and plates and stuff?
Well, that was the initial idea actually, but we ended up doing something a little bit different. I got surgery in November. I was the first one, and sadly, they did it actually really bad and like messed it up big time. So I got surgery again mid December, and then I've been this whole year just struggling and just in a lot of pain. Not much range of movement, not much strength, and just trying to like push through the year. I put some like goals on myself. Like I wanted to be at Loretta's. Like it was supposed to be. It is my last year. It was my last year at Loretta, so it was like my personal goal. I wanted to be there, race, have that last year. So, um, yeah, I've been just struggling all year, and then I came back home right after Loretta's. I had to miss out on MX of Nations this year, the last three pro nationals, and just took the time off just because I needed to come and try to get my wrist a little bit better. Ended up figuring out here just doing some studies that I have like 4 or 5 um, like like irreversible like things that you can't really fix. Is that well said?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, like things you can't really fix. So sadly, like I'll just have to like somehow figure out how to like deal with it.
Yeah.
And the main thing we did right now was just two small things that were like one out here
Yep.
and one up here, just to try and take some pain away.
Yep.
And well, I'm really happy with that because just for now it's been not too long, and I feel like it's been a lot better.
Yep.
But like the range of movement, I barely can move much. Like I can't really like,
Oh, yeah.
especially the auto side, and it just I can't
Yeah.
really like move much. But
Yep.
that's something I'll just have to like keep working on PT and keep doing my things and try to get better. And whenever I get to the point that I can't really get better, I'll just have to figure out the way of just push through that and keep
Yeah.
going. So
Yeah, just
yeah.
adapt and that sort of thing. Are you wearing a wrist brace?
I started using Mobius for a little bit, but I actually don't like using wrist braces at all. I just feel like it just makes, like, I'm already struggling with the little movement I have, and it makes it just worse. Like I have less like range of movement. So
Okay, cool.
I've been taping it up. Like I have this special tape that Doctor G helps me with, and he taught me how to do it, and it's been working fine. So I've been just doing that.
if you got Doc G on your side, man, you got the best, haven't you? You got the best advice there. So that's
Yeah, yeah. It's always he's been helping me out a lot throughout the year, and he's a really cool dude. Uh, Everybody over there is really nice, so it's always a fun time to go in there and just chat it or see people and just be in there. So
yeah, cool, man. So you're back home at the moment, man. So obviously you're from Chile,
yeah,
and where like it's a big country. It's like a long, thin shaped country, but it's
yeah.
quite a big country. What part of Chile are you in? Like the north, central, south,
I'm
or
I'm like right in the middle. Like it's the
okay,
central, like the capital, I guess.
yeah,
It's like yeah, like right in the middle. It's a really long country, so we have a
mm,
little bit of like uh desert up top and like more like hot like climate, I guess, and over more at the bottom is more like total opposite, more like nature, more trees, more like cold weather and everything. And we have like a little bit of everything. We have ocean on the left, and we have a whole mountains on the right. So it's a pretty cool country. There's a lot of things over here. It's really beautiful. So
yeah, yeah. You're I'm just without getting a map out, your I guess position on the what do they call it? Latitude position is probably similar to where I live, I'd say, like other side
yeah,
of the world, but like that I live in the southern part of Australia, so it's probably, roughly
yeah,
similar, yeah.
yeah, probably, yeah. I guess
I
so.
guess
And
without getting sometimes you get the map out and you're like, oh no, wow, like
yeah,
Chile's like
we're
way
probably way
higher
off.
or way lower or whatever. But yeah,
I
yeah,
know for I know I'm like looking at it like this. I'm like with like Miami, I guess, with like that side of the United States.
okay, yep, yep, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's an interesting thing, yeah. Well, I think you're. Let me think. You're definitely the the first. Yeah, you are the first South American on the show. I've had some people I've had some guests on the show whose parents were South American, but they were born in America, so born in the US. So yeah. Oh, have I lost you? Nah, you still
no, we're
there?
good, we're good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cool, man. Cool. So in Chile, do you guys like do you speak Spanish or Portuguese?
Spanish. Yeah, we
Okay.
speak Spanish over here.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Cool.
I'm glad I'm the first South American. There's always a first. So
That's right, man. Yeah, and it's a big scene, man. It's a big scene on that continent. Like the dirt bike scene. So many riders come out from that part of the world, man. It's a big scene, but it's not one that we hear about a lot on a worldwide scale. Like I have a friend who is he is just like the biggest fan of watching things you could imagine, and he somehow gets onto a stream of all the Brazilian races and watches them, and he
yeah,
knows all these South American riders and all that sort of stuff, and he reckons it's awesome racing. So yeah,
I mean
it's
Brazil has some really good riders. I feel like Brazil has the best South American riders.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Who is
but
like who is like the greatest rider to come out of Chile? Who's like your number one guy?
there's a couple that have done some good like things. But definitely like right now the best Chilean there's three probably that are like right now active riders, which is Hardy Munoz. He's a pro rider.
Yeah.
Then there's Benjamin Garib. He's racing MXON of Nations this weekend, and he's been racing the last 2 years in Europe. Then I guess there's me, which I'm in the United States as well. The rider I feel like has the most history is my older brother.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
he raced pro. He raced a couple MX of Nations with there's a year he raced MX of Nations with my other two brothers. So it was the same like my three brothers racing MX of
Oh,
Nations, which was
really?
a
Yeah.
like, cool thing.
I didn't
So
didn't realize that. Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like pretty like cool thing. You know, I feel like imagine racing MXO Nations, imagine racing MXO Nations with both your brothers. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so
What's your brother's name then? It starts with J, doesn't it? J. It's
yeah, Jeremiah's Israel.
Jeremiah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of him. Yeah, but I didn't even connect that you were brothers. Like
yeah,
I guess I probably just thought your
yeah,
surname's probably a popular surname like mine.
yeah,
My
yeah,
surname's
yeah.
Hall. My surname's Hall, and there's so many. I mean, there's three different uh, unrelated families of Halls just in my hometown. So
I
I
mean,
reckon,
trust me, I get the question a lot. I have people ask me if he's my dad, if he's like my cousin, if
yeah,
if like even I know him. Like I'm like, well, yeah, he's my brother. You know,
yeah,
like not
yeah,
many people actually like put the strings together. You know, so
yeah. How did you? I don't know if you've caught up on the qualifying races.
I did. Yeah, I
I'm
did.
still catching up on watching just some of them. But I've seen the results. How did Chile go?
I know Benjamin. I think he didn't get the best starts, but he finished 16th.
Yeah,
I guess that's okay. I know he can do better. He's a really good rider, and he's been doing pretty good the last couple of races. And I know the other two Chileans, they finished I think 30th and 31st. Not very good, but and I feel like for them this is just a whole experience. Like they need to just go out there, race, have this this experience, and just try to do the best they can. I
yeah,
feel like if we put too much pressure on them, they won't really like coming from where I was last year. You're there and you have pressure, you know.
mm,
But I feel like I know tomorrow there's Group B qualifying. I know they can somehow pull it off. It's not gonna be easy, but I know they can do it. Benji can for sure have put a good moto in, and the other two they I know what they're capable of too. So
yeah. Cool, man. So let's just keep talking about your experience at Motocross of Nations last year, man. So yeah, is that you've only been once, yeah? Am I right with that?
yeah,
Just last year, yeah,
yeah. I was gonna race the year before in Redbud, but I
yeah,
ended up just like saying no just because I wanted to race another year in B class just because I didn't really feel ready to go pro class.
yeah,
So I just wanted to have that one more year in B, and then last year I went pro, which A class. So racing A class pro, you can race MX of Nations and not have really a problem. So I
mm,
raced last year. I was supposed to go this year, but I had to come get surgery, so I ended up not going.
yeah.
And yeah, the idea is to go back next year. So yeah.
Fantastic, man. Would you say that's like the highlight of your career so far?
Uh no, no, no. I feel like definitely there's a couple other highlights. I mean, I've had some really good races. Loretta's not this year, but last year was pretty good. I had some pretty solid motos. Just couldn't put everything together. I knew I had the speed and the riding to be up there. I just put too much pressure on myself on 250B class just because I was racing faster guys. So I was on my head. And then 450B, I was there. I was riding really good. Like I went 128.1. Sadly, I crashed out on Moto 2 with like 2 laps to go, which sucks. But I would have ended, I think, 131 if I didn't crash, or 121. Who knows? You know, I was right there, but things happen. So I think I have a couple highlights. MX of Nations for sure is one of them.
Mm.
It was such a surreal experience being in France, and the crowd and the screaming and riding and hearing everybody on your side. It was pretty crazy, you know. It was just something I've never experienced. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool, man. Yeah. Did you come across any Chilean fans in France?
Uh I did. There was a couple, not many, but it was more like the ones that were with us, like in the whole team, and then there was a couple others that came and said hi, like hello and everything, but it was probably like five, not more than 5 or 10.
Still pretty cool though, the fact that they were there, to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you and support you though, it's still pretty cool. And yeah, whether they've made the trip or they happen to be living in France or whatever,
yeah,
it's a cool thing, It's so far away, Um,
yeah.
Loretta's though, in one of the classes in last year, you got a podium though. Still, did you still get a podium in 450 or did you podium 250 or something? I remember you.
I went 128.1, and that sadly gave me an eighth overall.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then on 250B, like I had the speed. I just like I don't know the first moto. I came from winning 450B, and just I was like I put the same pressure. Like I put the pressure on myself. Like I need to go and like I know I can race with them, but I was just on my head. Like I know I'm racing faster guys, and I just like on first moto I crashed 3 times in one lap. Like on lap three, so I was like buried, and I had to like catch back up. I think I finished 15th, which is not very good. Like Moto 2, I think I finished eighth, but it was like I don't know. I just wasn't riding like I was riding on 450B, and it's pretty crazy because it's like literally one day or like maybe the same day of like difference, but I
Mm,
was just not riding like I was riding on 450B, which sucks because it was I knew I could I was it wasn't even like I knew I could do it. I was doing it, just not on
yeah,
the class that mattered.
yeah, yeah. Ah,
So
cool, cool. Yeah. So now, if you do Loretta's next year, you have to be pro. Yeah.
well, I did pro this year, but I
Oh,
had
you
this
did
race
you?
again, and it was just I went if I was racing Loretta's next year, I would probably not even went to Loretta's this year. I would have skipped it and just try to like heal up or I don't know do something else. But since it was my last year, I really wanted to be there. I wanted to have that last amateur race
Yeah,
Loretta's. So yeah, I guess of course didn't get the results I wanted, but during the week I kept getting better and I was riding better and better. So I'm pretty happy with how it went for how I was or with what I was dealing with.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was it. Like that's my last year at Loretta's. So
Until you're an old guy and then you go back
yeah, we'll see.
to
We'll
have a
see.
go again. That's so it might not be the last year, but yeah, very good, man. So dude, this year you rode for SLR Honda.
Yeah.
And previous to that, I noticed you're always on, Austrian bikes, KTM, gas. What was that like stepping onto the Honda?
Um,
The onto the aluminium frame for the first time.
it was I remember the first day I jumped on the bike. It was at Glen Helen. It felt actually really nice. Like it felt easier to make it do the things you wanted to do. Like the gas would just you could just push the red limiter and push everything faster and just go for it more. But when you got into the corners, it would like always try to like drag out. Like you would have to like fight it to like kind of go where you wanted it to go.
Yeah,
The Honda is a little bit more harsh, but it has a really nice like just feeling on the hands on like how like if you want to like cut in it's so much easier to like cut in or jump something or go playing with the track. It's a really nice bike and overall you just need to learn how to like ride with one higher gear and ride more with traction instead of like the rev limiter,
yeah,
which gas is you just need to go for it. Like I feel like one gear higher or one the same gear, like it's probably gonna be the same thing because you can just push that bike and it's gonna go. The Honda, you need to learn how to ride one more gear and it'll move. That bike actually grabs the traction and goes. But it's a totally different riding style. And I was enjoying my time a lot. Like before I got hurt, I was loving the bike. I was getting used to it, and I was feeling really good actually.
nice, nice. I met the I can't remember his name, but I met the team manager there out at Elsinore earlier in the year. I was talking to
Yeah,
him for a little while. Yeah, he was practicing out there with Parker Ross.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, yeah, nice guy, nice guy.
Yeah,
That's it,
Sean.
man.
Sean is a really cool dude. He's a really nice guy. He's been there for, well, all of us all year. So well,
Mm.
I'm really grateful for what he's done for us, and yeah, he's really nice. So
Cool, man. Cool, cool. Um, let's talk about your real early days, man. So obviously your older brothers were riders, so that makes my question very easy. That's how you got into the sport. Um, but tell us about your first bike and the first time you rode that first bike.
well, I need to say that actually, like, well, of course my brothers went into it, but my dad did a couple other sports. Like he did F3s. He raced rally. He raced dirt bikes. He did a couple things, and but the sport he would always love, and he told me, he would tell us, like, the sport he would have always liked to pursue more was always motocross. That's how he got my older brother into it. And then my other two twin brothers, they just followed my older brother. But they are a lot older than me. They're 43, and the twins are 38. And I'm just 20. So there's 18 and 23 years of difference.
Mm,
Um, but um, actually, funny thing is, when I was younger, I didn't really like dirt bikes. Like when I was, well, of course, I started riding when I was 4 years old, but I would always go and have fun and ride with on the weekends and whatever. But when I was in school, I would play soccer. I would play with my friends and go play soccer, and wanted to be a soccer player, And then I started riding skates. I thought I was a skater for a while. Then I got into scooters. I was a scooter guy for a while. And then, well, but dirt bikes was always there. It was part of my family. But
yeah.
when I was really like young, um, I was always racing, and I actually I have a picture I took the other day. I have my first five bikes storage in over here. I did I just I guess a storage place, but I
Mm,
have my like first 50, my 65, like my 50 Honda, small 50 Honda. I have like my first five bikes, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, I guess when I was younger, funny story is, like, my brothers would always think, like, they would kind of bully me, or not bully me, but make fun of me because I like playing soccer instead of like riding dirt bikes.
yeah.
They would be like, "Nah, this is not our brother." Like he would tell like they would tell me I'm adopted. Just kidding, That was not really, but it was just they would love dirt bikes. That was all they did.
Mm,
And I was the younger kid that didn't really like dirt bikes, so it was like pretty funny. And slowly I started liking it when I was older. Like, actually, I think like when I was like 14, 15, that's when I actually started like riding more, getting more into training and whatever. But I was probably 17 when I actually really started like training and putting the work in, and actually trying to take it more seriously. So I feel like I started like late on actually putting in the work. But the last year before I got hurt, the 2023 year, I feel like I was getting so much better. I was at my best place. Like, I
mm.
was just feeling like everything was clicking. Like last month before I got hurt, I was like, every time I would go hop on the bike, I was like, damn, I feel like I got better. Today something clicked, something worked, something was good. But yeah, I still believe in myself. I think I just need to figure out my wrist, and I think I'll be good. Like, I can trust on myself that I can, like, ride a dirt bike. I can do it. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So that the fact that you got in a little bit later will probably do well for you, though, man. Like, you see a lot of kids that started real early, and they do at times they get a bit burnt out and a bit over it, sort of earlier in their career. Whereas you probably won't do that because you got into it a little bit later. So yeah, that's yeah, might find that's a bit of a blessing in the end, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, of course, there's the thought, like, damn, I wish I would have started earlier, But yeah, I feel like I love what I do. Like I love racing and just being on my dirt bike, So it's for now, that's what I love doing. So
Righto, time for an ad read. Stay young. StayYoungMX.com. That's a really easy website to remember. StayYoungMX.com. Used to be a kids moto brand that was owned and ran by a kid. But as my guy Evan Blair has grown, he's a young man now. And now we have adult sizes in Stay Young MX. All the way from size small through to XXL. Seven, I'm pretty sure 7 different colorways. And the Drop 2.0 that came out earlier this year, it looks fantastic. Make sure you check that out. You can also get t-shirts for mum, hoodies for dad, or t-shirts for dad, hoodies for mum. StayYoungMX.com. That's a really easy website to remember. StayYoungMX.com. Yeah, cool. When you go to America and you're in California and that sort of thing, like, do you have some family there? Like, do you have a support there, like financial support? Like, where do you
uh
stay and all that sort of thing?
well, my main sponsor is my dad.
Yeah,
He's my financial support, but I live over there by myself. I mean, I have my roommate. He helps me out a lot, but my whole family's over here in Chile, So I just live by myself the whole year, and I come back home like probably a month a year, and that's the time I have with my family, friends, and just when I can like do other things and just have a little bit more fun outside of dirt bikes, But the rest of the year, I'm just over there, and I don't really do much. I just ride my dirt bike, go to the gym, ride my bicycle, and probably spend time with my roommate, and that's about it. I just, yeah, I just ride dirt bikes.
that's it. Yeah. Do you does how often does like your family? How often does Dad get up to watch your race? Like how often does he
Uh
do that?
it was usually Loretta's and Minios.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I guess so. That would be the two races they would go, but I haven't been going to Minios the last like 2 or 3 years. And then Loretta's, there was a year you couldn't go, which was the COVID year.
Yeah.
But they've been there for every year. My oldest, one of my sisters, she's the only one that's been there for every Loretta's. And then during the year, I guess, like this year, my dad went and see me for a week. My mom has actually never been to California, like to stay with me the last couple of years. But sometimes when they go to Miami for like small vacations, sometimes I go there and just spend some time, I guess. Um, but yeah, to be honest, I don't really see them much during the year.
Yeah. That you must miss them, man. I imagine they miss you. But
I mean, there's moments. I definitely have moments that I'm like, some company would be nice.
yeah.
There's definitely some hard moments, and it's, yeah, I guess there's always the hard moments. But I mean, I love doing this so much that
Mm.
I just I love dirt bikes and I love what I do, and I'm very grateful for getting the opportunity to pursue my dream. So at the same time, that of course it would be nice to spend more time with my family and friends and whatever. But I just when I'm over there, I'm not really overthinking it. I'm happy over there. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and I'm happy, like, I guess, being by myself.
Yeah, cool,
sounds
man.
sounds pretty like, I don't know, just being by myself. But I don't know. I love dirt bikes, and it like compensates the being by myself.
Yeah, man. No, I understand. I totally understand, man. Yeah, yeah. It's when you're doing something that you love, it's you don't really feel lonely, do you, man? Because you're doing something that you love. Oh, yeah, I do resonate with that, man. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
you in your results, man. You did a 250 national at Unadilla. Is
yeah,
that right? Yeah. Tell us
yeah,
about
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man. That was in just last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was uh, it was right after the Redders, and I came in to get some experience on the last three nationals. I qualified straight through on the Unadilla, and it was something nothing like amateurs. It's so crazy being in qualifying and then being in the main like the motos racing and having a full gate of just packed wide open guys. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience, and I think I finished 30, 30th on one moto and like 26 on another one or something like that. I can't really remember. Or no, 31, 38, I think, because I crashed on the first one. Um, but then I raced also. What was the other last two Ironman, and then what's the other one? The last three rounds.
Just trying to think.
Damn, I can't remember which one it was.
It'd be would it be Buds?
But is
No.
it?
Um, I can't think. I should know, but I can't think without
I
looking it up.
blanked out too. Let me see if I find it real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Skip it, but
I wish my memory was better for things like that. It'd be it'd be easier to be doing
oh, I
this if
mean,
I
yeah,
had.
it is Butts Creek.
Oh, it is Buds. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Butts Creek was a track I struggled a lot. Like I could not figure it out, and I just couldn't put a lot. And for Butts Creek, they put me on the like A class qualifying. That was something just crazy hectic. Like you have no idea what it feels like to be trying to put a lap in and just randomly hear Deegan or just a star bike behind you revving the bike and just it's just pretty like crazy having to like focus on just on yourself. And for my first experience, I was struggling with the track, struggling with everything. Butts Creek was just a struggle, but Nadilla was really good. Butts Creek was a struggle. Ironman for me was the best track. I loved Ironman. It was so fun. Like I was enjoying my time. I was feeling really good on the bike. I just kept making dumb mistakes, and then on qualifying, I crashed like lap two on the like my first lap trying to put a lap in, and I bent all the from the bars the triple climb. So I bent that. So I couldn't really put a lap in, and then for
Yeah.
second qualifying the track went slower, and I put the same lap time in when everybody was just going slower, but it was not enough. And then qualifying got a really bad start, and I pushed through, got fifth, and just trying to pass for fourth on the last like three corners. I tipped it again. Just amateur, amateur mistakes. Those last two races, but
Mm,
for me, Unadilla was just really good experience. Like I felt really good. Put it on the main like straight through from qualifying, which I know I was capable of. I just was like just mistakes, like amateur
mm.
mistakes cost me on the last two. But I know it was so cool being out there with pros, and like I've trained all these years for that. You know, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be racing. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool, man. Very cool. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Um, did with SLR, did you do any? Did they talk you into doing any off-road events or anything this year? Did
I
you
mean,
have a go
it
at any
was
of that?
it was the idea. I just with the injury I had with my wrist, I was just trying to figure it out and try. I was just trying to ride my dirt bike, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay, yeah.
the whole process was so slow with my injury, and I never I never felt good all year. You know, I was always with pain and just push through it. I had to like just like kind of just like I could barely even ride motocross, you know. So
Yeah,
they didn't really want me to ride the off road races or do other things when I had other things I had to prioritize. So
yeah. Would it interest you to do like a works race or something like that if your wrist was good?
I mean, yeah, for sure. That's something. It would be pretty cool to race one of those. So
Mm.
it, I, everybody like talking with Jackson Parker, like they always tell me it sounds pretty cool, whatever. But after like 45 minutes or 30 minutes in the moto, and you still got a long way to go, it's not that fun. Like it gets less fun. But they told me like I need to for sure do it someday. Like I need to go out there and put a race in and see for myself how it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm open to that. It would be pretty cool to be to be able to race one of those.
Cool, man. Question I always like to ask the amateurs, man, is do you get compared? Does your riding style get compared to any of the pros? You know, like I've had kids on there said that people tell them they ride like Jason Anderson or they ride like Cooper Webb or whatever. Do you ever
Yeah.
get any comparisons like that?
Uh, Not really. I mean, I don't know. I think last year I can't remember. I guess at some point I was getting compared to someone, but I can't remember who it was, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
that's all right.
no, I'm my own. I'm my own self. I'm taking my own path. You know.
Nice. Um, Interesting thing that when I talk to Australians that are in America, there's always foods, Aussie foods that they miss. What about
Oh,
yourself? What
don't get
is
me
there
started.
Chilean food? What's the Chilean? What's the Chilean food that you really miss the most when you're in America?
I mean, food in general. Like, you can tell me just rice and chicken is so much better over here. Like, just everything. Food in general tastes so much better over here, and it's just better. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I love eating sushi, and sushi over here is so good. I don't know. I could probably eat sushi 7 days a week. Like, but there's like corn. I don't know how you call it in Spanish. Is pastel de choclo. It's like corn paste with meat and just a mixture of stuff. It's so good. Then there's the empanadas, which there's pretty good empanadas over here. Uh, I mean, there's a couple of foods like that. I don't know. I like all the foods over here.
awesome. Yeah, awesome. That's it. Is there like a is does Chile have like a national dish that you're known for? Like Italians are known for spaghetti, Americans are known for like hot dogs, like
Yeah.
where Aussies are known for like meat pies, what's the Chilean version of that?
I mean, there's a couple of things. I just every time I get asked this question, I have no idea how to like name them in English
Okay.
or just explain them. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like stuck in this like I'm like what like I just said like it's this corn paste like it sounds nothing like what it is. I'm like just kind of give up. But there's some good dishes. Like I know the main Chilean dishes are there's a couple like that corn paste thing I was telling you. That's like really good. That's something I like eating a lot when I'm back home.
Yeah, cool. Is there such a thing as a Chilean restaurant that you would find
I
anywhere?
mean, yeah, I think definitely that if there's probably yeah. I mean, in the United States, I think there's for sure like a
It'd be
Chilean.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it'd be hard. It'd be not something you can easily find. You know.
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I know Chilean. I know in California there's this Chilean mini market. I guess it's like for candies and stuff because Chilean candies like candy and just like sweets. I guess the sweets and all that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of like Chilean sweets and stuff and they're really good too. So I know for a fact in California somewhere I heard there's this like Chilean mini market, I guess.
Cool. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. Um, Dude. So helping you out this year. So obviously Monster, and I know Monster, and I know SLA. You're wearing Fly. Who else has been helping you out?
I mean the main sponsors are we ride Hondas, we're Fly Racing, Monster, Skechers, Lila Quentium, ODI bars and grips. Then we have like Slam Life, Pro Circuit, Service, uh, uh, um, yeah, I mean, there's a couple more, but those
Yeah,
are probably the main ones.
that's the main ones. Nice, nice.
We also have Maxima. Maxima is one of the main ones for myself. I've been with
Oh,
them the last 5 years, so Maxima and Pro Filters. So
Maximum Pro Fielder. Shout out to them then. Yeah. Nice
yeah,
one. The dogger. The dogger. um, yeah. I've got some either or questions that I like to ask the amateurs towards the end, man.
Yeah,
So you prefer weights or cardio?
I think I'm more of a cardio guy. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm usually road biking, and usually at the gym I do more like cardio type of like weights training. I'm never
yeah,
doing like heavy weights, you know.
yeah.
So I guess I'm, yeah, cardio.
Are you sort of a bigger, stronger guy naturally, so you don't need to do the
I'm
weights?
not. I'm not like buffed up. I'm not buffed up. I guess. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty skinny, but I feel like I'm pretty strong
Yeah,
underneath my skinniness.
yeah, yeah. No, I
But
get what you
yeah,
mean.
I've
Yeah,
always been more training cardio stuff. So
yeah, yeah. When when you get to celebrate or you have time for a cheat meal, are you going for something sweet or something savory?
I'm actually not a sweet guy at all. Like if like I know friends that are just they eat sweets all the time. I'm like, sometimes when I eat a lot, I'm like, oh, I'll get a sweet, and I'm like, I get one bite of something, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. You know, I mean, I can't really eat sweets in general. Like, or I'm not a guy that will get goes to a mini market and will get like chocolate or something. I'm probably gonna get, if I have to get something unhealthy, I'm probably gonna get Doritos. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, like my cheat meal after like races and stuff is usually like In and Out Burger.
yeah,
That would be like my cheat meal. Like I'm more of like I guess I get salt food
yeah,
guy than sweet. So
yeah. Cool, cool. When you got some time off, or I know you don't get a lot, but are you likely to sort of stay inside and get and do like gaming and stuff, or would you get out and go fishing or something like that?
I used to be a pretty rat boy. Like I used to play a lot of video games.
Yeah,
But now no, I don't really play much video games. I mean, in my free time, I don't really know what I do in my free time. When I'm back home, I see my friends and have fun and do things over here. But over there, I usually, I mean, on my free time, I don't really know what I do on my free time over there. To be honest, I just chill, I guess.
yeah, no worries. So when you hit the big time, man, and you're going to buy a car, are you going to buy a like a muscle car, like a Camaro or something like that, or like a sports car, like a Porsche?
I'm more of a truck guy. I mean, I have a truck myself, and I like having my truck, like a good, nice truck, and make it look nice. So I
What's
think
the
I'm.
what's the dream truck then? What are you buying? What's the dream truck?
I mean, everybody would say like a Raptor R would be pretty sick, you know.
That's it. Nice, nice, nice.
But
And
I've
then
always like, you know what my dream truck would be actually, because that's like the easy answer. But I really like like old style trucks and cars in general.
yeah,
Like sometimes I get a marketplace and I see old cars and I'm like, damn, one of these days I want to get one of those and just make it look like so nice. One like just old truck or like an old Chevy or like an old Ford or something like that. That would be like something I would like doing, you know.
cool, man. Cool, cool. That's it. Yeah, trucks, man. Yeah, like my dream truck, man, is it was 10 maybe 15 years ago. Ram brought out it was a 6-wheel drive V10 truck, and it had the V10 motor out of the Dodge Viper in it, and it was a 6-wheel drive. That's like the dream truck for me, I reckon. Yeah, it was a crazy, crazy
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Um, and then when you for a holiday, man, are you going to the beach or going to the snow?
I think I'm a beach guy. I mean, I don't really like the cold. I'm more of like being in the hot and just I prefer that. Yeah, I'm not a really cold guy to be honest.
Cool, man. Yeah, yeah. No, neither am I, man. Neither am I. All
I'm
right,
sticking
dude.
to the beach, I guess.
Yeah. All right, dude. Thank you very much for your time, man. Good luck for next season. I hope you get get a good deal together for next season, and I hope your wrist progresses and gets better, and you can really show the world and show the US fans what you got.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that a lot, and thank you for your time and for the invite. It's been a while that we've been wanting to do one of these.
Yeah,
But yeah, I appreciate your time and everything, um, and it's always good to have a good comeback story. So I'll be putting in the work and trying to be back to where I belong. So
that's it, man. Good luck. Thank you very much for your time.
perfect. Thank you, Steve. Have a great. Well, I don't know what time it is, but have a great night or afternoon.
Okay, thank you, man. You too. Cheers, man. Have a good evening. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
no worries. See ya.